What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another video, and I'm here with my Pittsburgh Steelers 2021 record prediction. Going to be giving you guys my best case scenario, my worst case scenario, and my overall record prediction for the Steelers this upcoming season. Before I get into it, if you haven't already, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I upload a new video. And most importantly, help a brother out. Hit that like button. That like button is really important because when you hit that like button, you help the video rank higher in the YouTube search algorithm. If I rank higher in the YouTube search algorithm, then the channel gets more views and you help the channel grow. Hitting that like button is free to do, and it takes less than a second to do so. The Pittsburgh Steelers last season went 12-4. They won the AFC North, and they got bounced out in the wild card round in pretty ugly fashion against the Cleveland Browns. Now, pretty much the whole entire NFL world believes that Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers are in danger of having their first losing season under Mike Tomlin. Now, if you didn't know already, I am a die-hard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I have been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan since I was 8 years old. I've been a Steelers fan for 11 years. But just because I'm a Steelers fan doesn't mean that I always feel like the Steelers are going to be a great team. Because I'm a fan of the NFL first. And what I mean by saying that is that I am unbiased. I can't let my love for the Pittsburgh Steelers cloud my judgment. And if I feel the Steelers are going to be a bad team, I'm going to tell you guys I feel the Steelers are going to be a bad team. If I feel the Steelers are going to be a great team, I'm going to tell you guys the Steelers are going to be a great team. Because I can't be biased. I have to be unbiased because the main reason why I made this channel was because I got tired of these biased narratives by the sports media world. So when it comes to the Steelers this year, I definitely feel like the Steelers are a fringe playoff team. I think the Steelers are a team that can make it to the playoffs, but they're still missing a key piece, or there's a big question mark that we're waiting to see how it pans out. And if you guys don't know already, you guys know it's the offensive line. If the offensive line plays above average this year, my best case scenario for Pittsburgh is going to be 12-5. The offensive line last year was not that great during the second half of the year. And because of it, the Steelers could not run the football, and they got overly reliant on Big Ben. You can still win with Big Ben. One thing that I strongly disagree with is the narrative that a lot of people have when it comes to Big Ben being washed up. People have been trying to say that Ben Roethlisberger has been washed up for over the last 3 years. Ever since he had that elbow injury that sidelined him for all of 2019. And then last year, he came back off that elbow injury. Everybody kept trying to say he was washed up. So I don't know how many years in a row people are just going to continue to count out Big Ben. But Big Ben is not the problem, ladies and gentlemen. You see, what the problem was is that Big Ben led the NFL in pass attempts. And when you have an older quarterback that is aging, you simply cannot rely on him to carry a football team. Aaron Rodgers is getting up there in age. Are the Packers overly relying on him to carry their football team? No, because they can actually run the football. Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees, both are retired now. Last year in their last seasons, were they asked to carry both of their respective teams? Was Phillip Rivers asked to carry the Colts? No, the Colts had a running game. Was Drew Brees asked to carry the Saints last year? No, the Saints could have actually run the football. Meanwhile, Big Ben didn't have that much assistance in the run game. When you have an older, aging quarterback that is showing signs of aggression, you cannot ask him to carry the team the way the Steelers asked Big Ben to carry that offense. Now this year, you bring in a new offensive coordinator. Randy Fichtner is now out of the door. You promote Matt Canada, who was your quarterback's coach last year, to offensive coordinator. And you have a new offensive line coach, which nobody is talking about. No, I have yet to see a video when people are talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers bringing in a new offensive line coach. Don't know why. And one thing that I really love about this new offensive line coach is that he wants this offensive line to be physical. That's what he's trying to implement. And when you look at when the Steelers were at their best, in the late 2000s, early 2010s, the off the line was really physical. Pittsburgh used to be a physical football team. They used to be tougher than you. They used to try to outmatch you physically. Now it seems like everything's just too finesse. The Steelers are trying to get too cute. A lot of these screen passes, a lot of these outside zone runs. What happened to the Steelers running the football 30 times a game up the middle, up the gut? It seems like everything has just gotten too pretty for Pittsburgh now when it comes to how they do things on the offensive side of football, which is why I like the fact that this new offensive line coach wants to implement being physical. He's trying to bring back that physical brand of Pittsburgh Steelers football that they had so much success with in the past. And I like that. So if the offensive line plays good, the best case scenario for Pittsburgh should be 12-5. Now the worst case scenario for the Pittsburgh Steelers is 8-9. If things do not go according to plan and things go left, then I think Mike Tomlin very well could have his first losing season ever as a head coach in Pittsburgh. The offensive line definitely is a huge concern. I'm not all that sold on offensive tackle for left or right, but I do like offensive guard. I think Trey Turner, even though he battled through injuries last year, he wasn't all that great for the Chargers. I feel like he can bounce back. A lot of people forget, even though David DeCastro left, and he was one of the best offensive guards in the NFL during his time playing, Trey Turner wasn't all that far off. There was a time when Trey Turner went to 5 straight Pro Bowls when he was playing for Carolina. So if he can get back to that Pro Bowl form, then the Steelers have a really good replacement for David DeCastro. Now you have Kevin Dotson, who is going to be manning your other offensive guard spot. He was really good in a few games that he played last year as a rookie. And you have Kendrick Green, who is expected to start at center this year. So I'm not really worried about the interior of the offensive line for Pittsburgh. What concerns me are the 2 offensive tackle spots. So you look at that, and you look at the fact that you now have a Cleveland Browns team that has Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. You have Cincinnati, who has improved their pass rush. So I'm kind of concerned about those 2 offensive tackle spots. So if we can't get good play out of the offensive tackle position for Pittsburgh, then I think the Steelers could definitely be in for a losing season going 8-9. Now, before I get into my overall record prediction, I want to tell you guys about my 2 swing games for the Steelers this upcoming season. For those of you guys who don't know, swing games are not must-win games. These are season-defining games that when you look back as a Steeler fan, you're going to say, okay, our season went this way when we lost to this team or when we beat this team. Week 1 against Buffalo, I feel, is a really big game because this is going to be a tone setter for the season. If Pittsburgh beats Buffalo on the road, then the whole entire national media is going to start hopping on the Steelers bandwagon. And then the Steelers are going to have a lot of confidence going into the following weeks, going against the Raiders, the Bengals, and having to go on the road against the Packers. So if you win that game against Buffalo, that is going to be a huge momentum booster to start the season out. But if you lose that game, then things could get kind of shaky. Then week 16 against Kansas City is a really big game because Pittsburgh is a fringe playoff team, which means that they're probably going to be competing for either that 6th or 7th seed in the AFC conference when it comes to the playoff picture. And that game against Kansas City is a really big one because if Pittsburgh loses that game, then that probably could increase their chances of missing out on the playoffs this year. And on top of that, it's on the road. But I'm really confident in Pittsburgh being able to pull out the victory in that game because Pittsburgh has had a lot of success when they have went on the road in Arrowhead and played Kansas City. The last time I remember Pittsburgh beating Kansas City was in the playoffs a couple of years ago. So Pittsburgh is a team that has had a lot of success on the road when they have played the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. So those are my 2 biggest swing games for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Now, my record prediction for Pittsburgh is going to be 9-8. I was really close to saying that the Steelers were going to win 10 games, but I think they're going to end up splitting with every team in this division. And yes, that does include Cincinnati. I feel like Cincinnati has improved a good bit, even though their offensive line still isn't all that great, but it's better than what it was last year. The defense should be pretty good. You improve your pass rush. I think Cincinnati very well could steal a game on Pittsburgh. I also think Pittsburgh will probably split with both the Browns and the Ravens this year, because the AFC North is probably the second toughest division in the NFL this year. So for Pittsburgh, I'm expecting this team to go 9-8. I think 9-8 should still be good enough to get into the playoffs as a 7th seed. And I don't think the Steelers are going to have a terrible year where they need to just go ahead and tank and rebuild. One thing about great franchises in the NFL, they never rebuild, they reload. So let me know your record prediction for the Steelers down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. And thanks for watching.